Today signing ceremony is memorandum of understanding between Hazara University, Montserrat and Allama Iqbal Open University, Islamabad for academic, scientific, technical and cultural cooperation. First of all, sir, I would like to say welcome and thank you for coming. Our guest from Hazara University, Janab Professor Dr. Jameel Ahmed Saab, Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Mohsen Nawaz Saab, Director ORIC, Mr. Zubair Alam Khan, Manager UIL, and Mr. Mushtaq Ahmed, Assistant Director ORIC, and Mr. Muhammad Liaquat, in charge media section. And sir, I would like to say thank you to you for sparing time with your busy schedule, and my colleagues from Allama Iqbal Open University. So basically, this MoU signing is for the research, academic collaboration between the two universities, which will definitely include student-faculty exchange program, joint research projects, joint research student supervision, joint seminars and conferences, and similarly joint technical training programs. Sir, I would like to request our guest, Dr. Jameel Ahmed Khan Saab, Vice Chancellor, to say a few words about it.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I am really so thankful to everyone, and especially Dr. Zaid Qayyum Saab. He's a long time friend anyway. I think we have a relationship for many years. But Saab, aapka bhi bahut shukriya, thank you very much. And this university is not new for me. I was a member of board of study during but some time, and also was a part of the PhD program for a little while. I taught a course here as well. One of my student, he unfortunately died recently, Dawood Khatak. He was here, and I actually delivered a lecture, was sharp on the research methodology here, because that time I was in Accra, universities were just across the road, so it was very easy. And I was so happy to come to this university today, because just to refresh my memories, and so happy to see the cheerful people here and outside student, and also the development is now, I think, is a full-fledged, not just national but international university. And you are the largest, I think. Half of the student belongs to Allama Iqbal University in Pakistan. When I was in quarters, so this center was very close to us, and a couple of times they were required something. So I was happily extended our collaboration to them, and it was because of my relation with this university, and also the academics. We are academics, so anywhere we go, anywhere there's any academic collaboration, we are always available. And this will be, I think, very good for Hazara University, because we are located in the north, in a corner of the, but though there is a beautiful place, and we would like to request all of you to come and visit. Now it's so easy, because just take 1.5 hours from here to reach to Hazara University because of the CPEC and the Hazara motorway. And we are, I think, 300 meters away from the CPEC exit. So it takes, I go from here, from Islamabad in morning, start 7 o'clock and reach there before anyone. Some of my colleagues, they have a little bit problem now that the VC comes in
quite early.
and not even staying in the campus where he can. So, but this is very important for us to have collaboration, because you see, in Army, what we do, we go to collaborate with the outside world, like UK and US and others, spending a lot of money, time, efforts. We had a couple of collaborations when I was in Accra and then in Kohat and in other places, but she is very costly. And I think first we need to have collaboration between us and like a university like this one. If this is our collaborator, we can raise our standard. And especially these days, there's a lot of importance of the distance learning education. This has been realized now by everyone, that this is the main, actually, this should be the mainstream now. When maybe sometime آج سے شاید 20-25 سال بعد پیپل ول بی لافڈ ایس کہ اتنا بڑے بڑے کیمپس کیوں بنا رہے تھے, ہاسٹل بھی ہوتے تھے کہ کیوں اسٹے کرے تھے ہاسٹل میں 7 سال اور اتنا پیسے خرچ کرنا. تو لوگ کہیں گے یہ زیادہ اچھا ہوتا کہ آن لائن. آج کل امریکن میں بھی کئی یونیورسٹیز, دس ایلیٹ کلاس یونیورسٹی, they have this open policy that you can take course anywhere. سپوز اگر آپ کمپیوٹرز کا ڈگری لینا چاہتے ہیں تو یو کین چوز ٹیچرز اینڈ کورسز in different university. You don't need to be in one university. So I think we should have similar kind of collaboration. ہمیں ادھر اگر ہمارے اسٹوڈنٹ بھی کئی اسلام آباد اور پنڈ اس ریجن کا ہے, ہمارا مارکیٹ بھی گوز اپ ٹو دی پنڈی کیپ اور ڈی اے خان یہ سائڈ سے, کیونکہ ہمارے اور ایک کا ڈائریکٹر ہی از فرام ڈی اے خان. تو یہ جو ایریا ہے پورا وی آر ناؤ ٹرائنگ ٹو ایکسٹینڈ آور مارکیٹ ٹو بیکاز آف دس سی پیک, وہ سیدھا گوز ٹو ڈی اے خان. تو یہ اس روٹ پہ ہم کوشش کریں گے کہ ہم اپنے مارکیٹ کو ایکسٹینڈ کریں گے. تو اس کیس میں اگر مائی اسٹوڈنٹ سپوز somebody staying in Islamabad and he or she needs one course, why he or she should come to Hazara, can take a course here, and آپ کا تو سینٹرس ہے کئی جگہوں پہ, تو اس میں جا کے بھی کورس پڑھ سکیں گے. تو بیسٹ یہ ہوگا, اس سے کافی کاسٹ سیونگ بھی ہوگی اور کولیبریشن بھی ہوگی, اور ڈفرینٹ ٹیسٹ آنا چاہیے اسٹوڈنٹ کو ہر جگہ سے. تو اگر ہم انٹرنیشنل نہیں کر سکتے تو نیشنل تو ہونا چاہیے. تو آئی ہوپ کہ یہ کولیبریشن آپ کی یونیورسٹی کے ساتھ از ناٹ اونلی کہ یہ یونیورسٹی کے اندر, میں نے پرسنل لیول پہ بھی آپ سب کے ساتھ میں کئی بار کام ہم کر چکے اکٹھے. تو اس وجہ سے انشاءاللہ اس کو ہم آگے ایکسٹینڈ کریں گے. دس از آئی تھنک ود سیکنڈ ہیئر ان اسلام آباد 13-14 یونیورسٹیز کے ساتھ ہم نے کیا کولیبریشن. کئی ایک سائبر کمپنی کے ساتھ ابھی ہم نے سائن کیا MoU. تو اس کے ساتھ جسٹ سائن نہیں کیا تھا بلکہ ابھی ایک پروجیکٹ ہمارا اسٹارٹ ہو گیا لاسٹ ویک سے, منڈے سے ایک پروجیکٹ اسٹارٹ بھی ہو گیا وہاں. ہم یہ چاہتے کہ یہ ہزارہ سائٹ پہ 600 تقریباً آرکیالوجیکل سائٹ سے مانسیرا میں, یہ کسی کو ابھی تک پتہ نہیں ہے کہ 600 سائٹ سے آرکیالوجیکل, وہ سب کو ہم کوشش کرتے ڈیجیٹائز کریں گے, اس کے جو ہسٹوریکل وہ ہے ڈیٹا یہ سارا, کیونکہ وہ شاید جو ہے نا کچھ چیزیں اسمگل بھی ہو چکے وہاں سے. تو ہم بلکہ ایک اور پروجیکٹ پہ اب ہم سوچ رہے کہ امیج پروسیسنگ کے تھرو وہاں جو اسٹیچوز وغیرہ ہے بدھا کا باقی, وہ اس کا ہم گرافیکل کچھ کوشش کریں گے 3Ds ابھی. اب اس کو پھر کمپیئر کریں گے جو باہر گئے ہیں, تو ویل فائنڈ آؤٹ ویز کہ یہ جو باہر گئے ہیں جو مختلف جگہوں میں اسمگل, ہمیں پتہ ہے کہ اسمگل ہو چکے ہیں, تو اس کے ساتھ ہم کوشش کریں گے تھرو امیج پروسیسنگ کہ لنک کریٹ کرے کہ یا تو یہ وہ ادھر آئے ہیں یا ہمارے والے وہاں گئے. تو زیادہ چانس یہ ہے زیادہ یہ ہے. تو اس سے ایک پروجیکٹ بھی ابھی ہم نے ڈسکس کیا. تو یہ اسی وقت پاسبل ہے کہ ہمارے کولیبریشنس ہو باقی یونیورسٹیز اور اداروں کے ساتھ. تو یہ اس کے ساتھ ونس اگین تھینک فل اینڈ اسپیشلی لطیف صاحب آپ کا بہت شکریہ. یہ شاید لطیف صاحب آ گئے تو اس نے لنک کریٹ کیے. لطیف کے صاحب کے ساتھ بھی میں بہت پرانے جو نا لوٹن میں جب یہ تھے تو ہم وہاں یونیورسٹیز میں جاتے تھے, اور باقی آپ کے کئی کولیگ سے میں ملتا رہا. تو ان شاء اللہ ویل کنٹینیو ود دس کولیبریشن. Thank you very much.
جی تھینک یو ڈاکٹر صاحب. ڈیفینیٹلی وی آر لوکنگ فارورڈ ایز ویل کہ انشاءاللہ اس کولیبریشن سے دونوں یونیورسٹیز جو ہیں وہ کافی آگے تک کام کریں گی. اور جیسا کہ آپ باؤنڈری سے نکل کے آپ آگے نکلنا چاہتے ہیں, تو ہماری یونیورسٹی کا یہ ایکسپیرینس پچھلے کئی سالوں سے ہے, اور ڈیفینیٹلی وی ول ورک ٹوگیدر فار بیٹرمنٹ. تو اب میں ریکویسٹ کروں گا ڈاکٹر صاحب, ڈاکٹر ضیاء القیوم صاحب وائس چانسلر, کہ وہ کچھ اپنے.
بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. بہت قابل احترام میرے دوست, میرے سے سینئر بھی ہیں لیکن ہماری دوستی زیادہ امپورٹنٹ ہے, ڈاکٹر جمیل احمد صاحب, وائس چانسلر ہزارہ یونیورسٹی, colleagues from Hazara University and my colleagues from Allama Iqbal Open University. Sir, thank you very much. At the outset, I would like to really thank you for making it and visiting an institution which is close to your heart, not only because of the fact that you have a friend here who's heading the university, but at the same time you happen to be in Iqra University, and so you know this whole educational setup in Islamabad. And for those who may not be knowing, Dr. Jameel Saab actually left Iqra University. Whatever you see Iqra University, Islamabad campus today, I mean, it can rightfully be said that it was all due to Dr. Jameel's efforts. اس میں بالکل کوئی دوسری رائے نہیں ہے کہ اس کی جو بھی آج اکیڈیمک جہت ہے, جو even infrastructure की जो सूरत हाल है, I mean it all it's a contribution of Dr. Jameel. इन्होंने उसको माशाल्लाह बड़े अच्छे तरीके से मैनेज किया, हैंडल किया और उसकी एक एकेडमिक रेपुटेशन भी एस्टैब्लिश की. And I think, I mean, then he chose to serve his own province primarily, and then he went to Kohart. And this morning when they said, I mean, my colleague said we are going to sign an MoU with Hazara University, I was not really, I mean, this is my lacking, sir. Although when you were appointed in Hazara University, although I actually heard that news and we met probably in VC's meeting as well, but it just slipped off my mind somehow, unfortunately. And I was expecting Dr. Jameel at Kohart University anyway. So Dr. Latif said, I mean, Dr. Jameel is coming actually to sign memorandum of understanding. I said, come on, I mean, we don't need an MoU with Dr. Jameel. I mean, it's all really already there. I mean, since he is heading an institution, and since I'm here, we already, I mean, should be working together. But for the sake of really record, I mean, I really appreciate Dr. Jameel for, I mean, instructing your colleagues or, I mean, and coordinating with Dr. Latif to have this MoU signed between two institutions so that we can really formalize these personal relations into an institutional relationship, basically. And we may work together for improving the academics in both parts, in all parts of the country in a way. I mean, to start with. And when I talk about academics, obviously it includes research and development coordinations and collaborations. It also includes different collaborative academic activities. And more importantly, as Dr. Jameel, since he is, again, I mean, one commonality is he comes from that same domain. Dr. Saab has his PhD from King's College, London, and in the domain of computing as well, working on image processing and related stuff. So there's another reason for being together, honestly. And you very rightfully pointed out, Dr. Saab, that probably 20 years down the road from now on, people would really think, I mean, why we had these, I mean, huge campuses and vertical buildings, I mean, in the universities. The technology has changed, already changed a lot. I mean, the way we work, the way we think, the way we interact, in all facets of life. It's not merely the education, but I mean, you think about, go back maybe 10 years or probably, I mean, मुझे अच्छी तरह याद है सर वो पाकटेल वाला वो जो बड़ा सारा मोबाइल होता था जो लोग हाथ में यूँ लेके फिरते थे एक स्टेटस सिंबल की तरह से भी. And even, I mean, if you go back to 2002, 2003, even, I mean, you won't find these handy sets even in that period of time as well. But technology has I mean, it has changed so dynamically that whatever you could imagine today, you might find it available to you maybe after a couple of months or maybe a few years only. So it's not a matter of decades now. People have already started talking about robots replacing the teachers now. The robots have already replaced the doctors, the specialists. The remote surgeries now is a prevalent practice anyway. And now, I mean, I don't know, these bots now would be more smart or smarter than myself and Dr. Jameel. These bots would be in the classrooms or maybe, I mean, available online and would be delivering lectures, who would be intelligent, and the intelligence being given through these artificial intelligence and other related techniques. And someone said, a couple of months ago, someone said that he read it somewhere. He said that, and he quoted, and I'm actually quoting him again. He said that probably in 2030, so it's kind of 10 years only, you don't know what kind of professions we'll have in the year 2030. And since we do not know what kind of professions we'll have in 2030, whatever we are teaching to our boys and girls today, from schools till universities, is probably going to be really all irrelevant if we do not adapt and if we do not think really beyond our own imaginations. We would be irrelevant. I mean, so even today we talk about relevant education, but when it comes to technology and the pace it is actually developing, with the pace it's developing, we should really be thinking of adapting to this rapidly changing technological interventions, especially in the domain of education. And open distance learning, sir, you rightly pointed out, is something which we really should embrace upon now. We had apprehensions. We today even have apprehensions about the way this distance education or open distance learning is being imparted. There are, I mean, let's accept it, there are issues in terms of really delivery of content with regards to even quality assurance mechanisms as well. But since now we are confronted with different kinds of challenges and taking these challenges as opportunities, now, I mean, my university even now has started working on developing frameworks for ensuring quality standards in the distance education mode or in ODL mode. And this could be a natural mixer. I've always talked about, for example, when you talk about Balochistan, when you talk about previously known as FATA, but now it's part of KPK, where obviously there are challenges of access, there are challenges of qualified teachers, there are challenges of infrastructure as well. So if we could really take this ODL mode to these areas, to these parts of the country, you can really bring people into the mainstream, of the country, educate them. Allama Iqbal Open University, sir, since you know, I mean, offer programs from matriculation to PhD level. So we would be really happy if in your own expansion strategy, Allama Iqbal Open University could play any role. We already have extended the facility of our regional campuses and regional centers to Dr. Razia, sir, Women University of KPK, that whatever regional, wherever we have these regional centers and regional campuses, the institutions in KPK may like to use these facilities as and when they deem fit, as and when they require for the good of the students in that area. Instead of they travel, for example, to your campus, and they are if in DI Khan, they can go to my campus in DI Khan. If it is in Lower Dir or any part of KPK, I mean, I would like to really offer these services to your university, sir. In the end, sir, I'm really grateful. I could meet an old friend. That's one advantage of really having this ceremony today. But at the same time, I would like to really thank you and your colleagues for coming over and signing this memorandum of understanding to mark the beginnings of a new kind of collaboration between two institutions. Thank you very much, my colleagues, sir. Very briefly, Rana Nazir Sahab, sir, he is the registrar of the university. Dr. Bhatt Sahab is Professor Emeritus, sir, with us. And Dr. Sahab guide करते हैं हमें different academic issues पे, standards पे, हाँ जी. Professor Abbasi Sahab is Dean, Faculty of Arabic and Islamic Studies. Professor Amir Shah Sahab, I'm sorry, yaar, sometimes, I mean, it just slips off my mind. मैं बाज़ नाम भूल जाता हूँ, मैं माज़रत चाहता हूँ. Professor Amir Shah Sahab, sir, he is working as acting treasurer of the university, and he is professor of management sciences. Basically, he heads our accounting and finance department as well. Dr. Zahid Majid, he is working as director international programs and external linkages. He basically is from Faculty of Education, and we actually have requested him to do this additional job on our part. A very dynamic person who actually is pushing these external collaborations as well. प्रोफेसर हाशमी साहब, सर, हमारे बहुत सीनियर प्रोफेसर हैं. प्रोफेसर अब्बास साहब से पहले हमारे डीन थे, ये फैकल्टी ऑफ अरेबिक एंड इस्लामिक स्टडीज़ के, और बल्कि ये तो आपके इलाके के भी हैं. अच्छा. सो माशाल्लाह सर, प्रोफेसर साहब भी एक बड़ी हम्बल और बड़े इल्मी इनका एक किरदार है, माशाल्लाह जी. इनके छोटे भाई हमारे साथ बल्कि एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर भी हैं, एक और डिपार्टमेंट के चेयरपर्सन भी हैं. राजा उमर सर हमारे डायरेक्टर कोऑर्डिनेशन एंड फॉलोअप हैं मेरे ऑफिस में, और मुश्ताक सर और एक में डॉक्टर साहब के साथ इनके स्टाफ में लोग हैं. डॉक्टर साइमा सर हमारी डिप्टी डायरेक्टर हैं रिसर्च, इनोवेशन और कमर्शलाइजेशन में, अ वेरी ब्राइट ऑफिसर हमारे इसमें सेंटर में. बेटे का मैं नाम भूल गया, जमीला सर इनके साथ रिसर्च ऑफिसर हैं. सो थैंक यू वेरी मच सर अगेन.